What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today Washington goes down to Philadelphia, loses in overtime 34-31 in a game that the big plays dominated. Both defenses was giving up big plays, and A.J. Brown was on demon time. He took advantage of our rookie corner and Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes didn't get a lot of help in this game, but this was not a bad game by either team's offense. Washington did very good. I like the fact that Eric Bieniemy didn't feel the need to make Sam Howell conservative. He did a good job with calling plays that made sure that Sam Howell got the ball out faster. Sam Howell seemed more steady this game. He wasn't holding on to the ball, but a lot of that was because the way Eric Bieniemy was calling plays. So again, it wasn't one of those games where you can be mad at what happened. Big plays hurt both teams in this game. Like I said, I mean, you're talking about A.J. Brown. I mean, 170-something yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. He was abusing our rookie. I mean, he put it on Emmanuel Forbes, and it was just one of those games. And you could tell that Forbes needed help, but there were times where he got assistance, but there was times where he didn't get assistance. And the moments he didn't get the assistance, he got chewed and got lost. And it seems like Philadelphia's favorite play for A.J. Brown was like a double move go route that, for some reason Washington just didn't really account for it that much. But again, not a bad game. Very close, 34-31 in overtime. Sam Howell throws his first touchdown. Throws his first touchdown in this game when it was needed the most. Was happy about that. Like I said, against Sam Howell, he didn't look bad at all. He stuck to what he said. He did say he wasn't going to play like he did in Buffalo, and he didn't. He stuck to his guns. He did exactly what he said he wasn't going to. He did exactly what he said he wasn't going to do, and he looked better. He looked more calm. But again, how much of that was Eric Bieniemy changing up the play calling and stuff? There was a lot of stuff going on in this game that. The game felt very slow, but again, because everything was basically happening based on big plays, that is why we saw this game be so close and why it just seemed like, the score was so high. Because the big plays mattered the most. Washington had big plays in the run game. They had big plays in the pass game. The Eagles had big plays in the run game, big plays in the pass game. So it was just one of those games. Now, the thing that was bad was that they went 3 and out in the overtime. They got the ball first and went 3 and out. The play with Terry McLaurin on the sideline where he stepped on Reed Blankenship's arm, it's just one of those plays. It's just like you can't really tell if it was a catch or not. So it's one of those things where I didn't think we were going to win this game, but I also didn't think we were going to be this close in the game either. But we were close. We were very close. We were doing a really good job. It seems like Washington wants to play better in the second half, but we do have to clean up the big plays because, again, we can't have a tight game and then all of a sudden big plays is what killed us, because that's what actually killed us in the Buffalo game, giving up big plays, big chunk yardage to wide receivers. You talking about last week it was Stephon Diggs, this week it's AJ Brown, who, like I said, I think he had 170 something and 2 touchdowns. That's not good. And our rookie is really good, but he just had a bad day at the office today, and AJ Brown basically took advantage of him. I don't really know what Jack could have done in that whole thing, because he can't sit up there and have double coverage on AJ Brown the whole game, because then you got Devontae Smith, who's a faster receiver, possibly going one-on-one against Kendall Fuller, which you don't really want. So again, like I said, this was a very close game. Wasn't a bad game at all. It was very slow, but like I said again, the big play, this was a big play game. Both teams gave up massive plays to each other's offenses, but it's just that Washington gave up a little bit more, and at least we got the Bears next. And I'm not sitting here saying that the Bears, that we're just going to go in there and beat the Bears, but the Bears aren't playing well. Washington seems like they got back in the groove. We need something to happen. I mean, we need something to happen in regards to being able to compete with teams that are considered like top level teams, because we still got a couple of them on our schedule. We got the Dolphins on our schedule. We got the Dolphins. We got we got the Dolphins. We got the 49ers. Dallas isn't playing that well, so we got the Eagles again. So we got teams that we really are going to be competing against. We got teams that we're going to be competing against, and we gotta act like we really want to win some of these games. This is going to be a long one. This is going to be a tough one as we keep going down this road and this path. Like I said again, not a bad game at all. Sam Howell did a really good job. Threw for, I think he had 200 and something yards, and he had the 1 touchdown. He actually used his feet a little bit more, but I want to say this because it just seems kind of strange to me, but for some reason, Sam Howell just, when he gets out the pocket, he doesn't seem like he's running really fast, if that makes any sense. Like, I heard somebody say that he sometimes seems like he's playing small, and I now get what they mean by that. Like, it's like, it's almost like he bunches up before he's ready to make a play or throw the ball. So his height is what it is. Again, I don't think he's a bad quarterback. But I do understand what people mean about him playing small, because he just seems to crouch down a lot. Like, he does this crouching thing where even when it's throwing the ball, like, if he steps up in the pocket, he crouches down first before he postures up and throws the ball. So I don't know why he does that, but I did notice that that's what he does. And that's, I think, where the thing of people saying he plays small in the pocket. He does this crouch down thing before he postures up. So hopefully he'll find a way to get rid of that little tick too. But again, he didn't play bad. He didn't really play bad at all. No interceptions from him. They still gave up a lot of sacks. I think they had about 5. I think it was 5 sacks I counted. But I saw a crazy stat. I saw a very crazy stat. And that stat worries me more than anything. They say Sam Howell is on pace to be sacked 100, and I think it was like 107 times this year or 109 times this year, which would make him the most sacked quarterback ever in the NFL. So somebody gave the example of David Carr. Today they talked about that on the TV. They in their posting they talked about David Carr being one of the guys who was sacked a lot during his campaign. So again, hopefully we won't have to. Hopefully Sam Howell won't be sacked that much. But that was a very bizarre stat, that he's on pace to be sacked 107 times or 109 times. That's a huge, huge number. But again, they didn't play bad. Let's talk about Sadiq Charles. Sadiq Charles is actually playing very well this season. Like, I know that a lot of times that a lot of people are talking about the offensive line. Andrew Wiley. Let me finish with Sadiq Charles first. But Sadiq Charles is playing very, very well. Like, I think that Sam Howell is less pressured with Sadiq Charles than any other offensive lineman. Like, Sadiq Charles looks like he gives up the least amount of sacks. Now, I could be wrong, but to me, it seems like Sadiq Charles is playing very well. Even when it comes to opening up holes in the run game, like, it seems like they actually, like, the running backs actually like running behind him more than even Sam Cosmi. So keep an eye on that, because Sadiq Charles did open up some really big holes on his side. In fact, one of the holes he opened up ended up being a Brian Robinson touchdown. So, again, look at Sadiq Charles. He's actually playing very well. Now on to Andrew Wiley. He's just not the answer. We do have a guy in Cornelius Lucas, who's a guy who's better on the left side than he is on the right side. But at this moment right now, to be quite honest, Andrew Wiley has to be, like, you have to get him out the game, because he had penalties today. He gave up a lot of rushes today. He's getting beat pretty often, and it's really sad, because there are moments and times where if Sam had just a little bit more time, he would be able to make a play or throw for another, get the ball out a little bit better. But Andrew Wiley is not playing well. And again, we do have Cornelius Lucas. But again, Cornelius Lucas, he is a little bit more comfortable on the left side than he is on the right side. And we saw that, where he's really good on that left side. He moves over to the right side. He's okay, but he's not. You can tell it's not his favorite. The right side isn't his favorite place to play. But to me, he's a better option right now than Andrew Wiley, because Andrew Wiley is just getting beat a little too much at this point now. Again, a lot of the pressures wasn't because the offensive line wasn't blocking. It's just that Philadelphia was bringing a lot of people. They were blitzing a lot. So that was something that is a big thing. And again, like I said, not a bad game at all. Not a bad game at all. They did a really fantastic job. But again, big plays on defense. The defense just gave up way too many big plays, but they were still battling, and it wasn't like they were being dominated. It's just that these random big plays just came up. Random big play, random big play, random big play. And they're going to have to find a way to help that, because, again, now Emmanuel Forbes, like I said, we got Chicago next week. Not a lot of receiving threat there, because Justin Fields isn't playing well. The offense isn't playing well in Chicago. Their defense isn't playing well in Chicago. So again, I do feel that at the end of the day, Washington can come out with the win against Chicago, but we'll definitely see what happens. Again, not a bad game at all. Just got killed by big plays. And, Sam Howell bounced back very well in this game. So we'll see what happens. Man, man, this was one. This was one that's kind of like a little stinger, a little bit, but you can't be mad at this game because they didn't play bad at all. It was just the big plays. The big plays was the problem. And, you know, again, like I said, it's time to go ahead and let Andrew Wiley sit on the bench because he can't do it. He can't. There's nothing he can do. He doesn't give Sam Howell enough time. He doesn't give the offense enough time to really, you know, let plays develop and everything like that. And he's getting destroyed by speed rushers. So, again, like I said, not a bad game. Can't be mad at this game. This game was won by Philadelphia on big plays, and the fact that A.J. Brown just took massive advantage of Emmanuel Forbes in this game. And they didn't give Emmanuel Forbes enough help, but you can't help him all the time. So, man, little heartbreaking loss, but didn't play bad. But we'll see what happens next week. We'll see what everybody says in the press conferences. Like I said, again, can't be mad at the team. They didn't play bad. It's just that, like I said, I keep repeating it, big plays hurt us. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all feel that the big play is what hurt us a lot? How do y'all feel about Andrew Wiley and the possibility of benching him in favor of Cornelius Lucas? Y'all tell me what you think. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.